My name is Tanja Boukal. I live, work and think in Vienna. And the main focus of my work are people, how they act in different situations, what about their dignity. The first that I look at if I start the work is there has to be a topic that touches me. So sometimes I see something on the TV and I start raising questions. What happens really there? Because you have a headline and you hear that, and then I start like, okay, but what is really happening there? What about the people there? What are the stories that are not told in the news? I always start with a topic and then I'm searching for the materials. So I work with a lot of different materials. In the last years I started to work a lot with textiles, because for me textiles are perfect because they are kind of innocent. You don't associate them with art. So everybody has his own relations to textiles. Like everybody has a pullover that was knitted by his grandmother or anything, and it's not that high art. I started working with the language of flowers because it's a very old language. It was done in the Victorian times, but basically you have it since the antique that you can tell something through a flower. And sometimes it's really, you can also tell odd things with it. Like you can say, I hate you, that's for example basil. And you can tell whole stories just with a bouquet of flowers, and that really fascinated me. And I think it's really hard if you work with images of dead people. What would you do there? I mean, you can write something, how unfair it is and how touching, but you cannot really describe it with words. So I came back to that language of flowers, because with flowers you can tell something, it looks beautiful, it also honors people, but still you can tell what you want to do with it without writing words. Well, the last work that I did was Requiem, and it's a work about the actual corona crisis. It's about what it does to people. What does it do to us if we have all these forbidden things and the things how we should behave, and how also goes it into our normal life situation. Like 1.5 years ago, nobody could ever think about wearing masks. Nobody would do that. Now it's very normal for us to put them on. We have the restrictions that we don't shake hands. We have that thing that we don't use cash money. And you know, it all started to be kind of part of our life. And I'm really wondering how all these things and also that social distancing will change our lives. So it's a kind of recording of what's going on and how we will behave. Maybe you wonder why the exhibition is called Do You Know That We Have Lost? And that comes from a very old quote. It's from the Chaos Computer Club, which wrote a manifesto about if we understand that we lost, then we can free ourselves and don't mourn about things that we don't have anymore, but we can start to do new things. And the exhibition is all about that, to say like, okay, we lost in some things, we just have to give up, we will not get them back. But maybe in that understanding of saying that we lost, then we can just free ourselves and start new.